The market capitalization of the coin is used to summarize all that is taught in this video. I would also like to remind you to give my channel a like and subscribe to it so that you can stay up to date on future XRP news, as well as other cryptocurrency news in general. Take a look at this now, shall we? Holders of XRP on the edge, there is no unambiguous conclusion to the SEC summit. In light of the fact that the SEC meeting is coming to a close without offering any clarification, holders of XRP are on edge. The Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple's disagreement has put an end to any hopes of a rapid resolution to the conflict, the failure of an important conference to find a solution to the problem that was being discussed. A decision regarding Ripple's XRP has not been reached as a consequence of the proceeding that was conducted by the SEC. The price of XRP has plummeted as a consequence of the uncertainty that has been there. This is the first time that Ripple and the SEC have communicated with one another. There was a meeting that took place behind closed doors at the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the whole cryptocurrency industry held its breath. The gathering was attended by a large number of individuals who had the hope that it would bring an end to the crisis the situation was in. Many people held the belief that a settlement was on the verge of being announced, which resulted in the XRP community experiencing a burst of excitement for the very first time. On the other hand, as the meeting came to a conclusion, the individuals' level of optimism also decreased. The absence of Ripple from the discussion threw a long shadow over the proceedings, despite the fact that there were items on the schedule that indicated at a potential settlement to administrative actions and legal claims, which had stoked excitement. The Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple have not yet issued any official statements from their respective positions, a situation that has caused those who have XRP to experience a state of fear. As a result of the uncertainty surrounding the SEC case, XRP is falling. The emotional roller coaster that the community was going through was reflected in the price of the digital asset the community was experiencing. The price of XRP dropped by 5, reaching a low of 58 cents before making a minor recovery of approximately 60 cents prior to the current price. This deterioration was brought about by the lack of news that was available. The market has grown unstable as a direct result of the fact that there is still a substantial correlation between the outcome of the case and the value of the cryptocurrency, because there is a shortage of information. Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission have both chosen to remain silent, which has resulted in holders of XRP being in a state of uncertainty. An atmosphere of dread, perplexity, and doubt has been created within the community as a consequence of the lack of knowledge, which has further contributed to the proliferation of popular speculation. On social media platforms, there has been a profusion of rumors and divergent interpretations of future events. The goal of these platforms is to acquire a reaction from both parties, but only Ripple has answered to their requests. Ripple's representative has issued the following statement, which can be found below. At this time, there is no news that can be shared with you. In order to stay up to current on the case, it is imperative that you follow Ripple's channels, especially those of Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse and those close to Alderati. A number of members of the XRP community are dissatisfied with the SEC meeting. A state of suspended animation is currently being experienced by the community that is associated with XRP. In the meantime, we continue to wait for a resolution. Until a definitive ruling about the lawsuit is reached, it is likely that the price of the cryptocurrency will continue to fluctuate. The cryptocurrency sector continues to keep its gaze fixed on the Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple, with the hope that clarity would emerge in the near future and put an end to the turmoil that has been taking place in the market. Despite the fact that the SEC conference did not result in the resolution that had been anticipated for a very long time, it did bring to light the paramount requirement for regulatory certainty in the cryptocurrency industry. Because of the case surrounding XRP, the problems that the industry is facing in attempting to navigate a regulatory landscape that is both complicated and in a state of rapid change have been brought to light. Speculation over the SAC silence fuels and the Ripple settlement occurred. As of Thursday, the Securities and Exchange Commission, often known as the CIA, has not announced any information concerning the conversations that took place during the meeting that was held behind closed doors. On the 17th of July, the anticipation that Ripple would be present at the closed meeting to negotiate settlement terms in the Ripple case was the driving factor behind the surge in the price of XRP, which hit a high of 0.63. The failure of the CISA to provide a response to the Ripple case suggests that there are other probable explanations for this. There was a need for additional negotiation over the parameters of the settlement. It was not possible for Ripple to resolve the dispute despite their best efforts. There was a lack of attendance from the Ripple team at the exclusive meeting. As a result of a settlement, the Securities and Exchange Commission's SEC efforts to appeal any of Judge Torres' orders would be terminated, which would be advantageous for Ripple. A motion for interlocutory appeal was submitted by the Securities and Exchange Commission to Mission in August 2023 in order to appeal the decision regarding the programmatic sales of XRP. However, motion was denied by Judge Torres in October 2023. This consequently means that the Securities and Exchange Commission would be required to wait until the conclusion of the Ripple case before appealing any court findings. During the settlement negotiations, the Securities and Exchange Commission may focus on post-complaint activity, Ripple's expansion plans for the United States, and the Ripple stablecoin. Additionally, a briefing on the remedies linked to may be provided. During the month of March in the year 2024, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) presented its opening brief of remedies. In this brief, the SEC recommended for a penalty of $2 billion and an injunction that would restrict the sale of XRP to institutional investors, despite the fact that the Securities and Exchange Commission had filed a court action in December 2020, continues to violate US securities laws. In April of 2024, Ripple presented its opposing brief regarding remedies. In this brief, they stated that a penalty of $10 million would be considered acceptable. As a result of the fact that XRP sales were aimed through on-demand liquidity, Ripple maintained that the sale of XRP, after the lawsuit was filed, did not violate any securities laws in the United States. Agreements that render it impossible for investors to either make a profit or lose money, or agreements that are beneficial to accredited investors who are exempt from the regulations that govern stocks. The fact that Ripple's previous agreements contain major terms in the event that investors do not anticipate generating a profit is a key point to keep in mind. It is not going to be possible for the CC to provide evidence that the prior agreement satisfies the Howey test, the expectation of becoming financially successful as a result of the efforts of other individuals. Constitutes the third component of the Howey personality test. In April 2024, the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) issued its reply brief concerning remedies. In it, the SEC stated that the post-complaint activity appeared to be identical to the activities that led to the court ruling in July 2023. In addition, the CC asserted in the filing that Ripple's stablecoin would be regarded as unregistered, which would be in violation of the laws that govern securities in the United States. Judge Torres came to the conclusion that Ripple has violated the securities laws of the United States by selling unregistered XRP to institutional investors. He provided some context prior to reaching this conclusion. Furthermore, Judge Torres has arrived at the conclusion that the third component of the Howey test is not satisfied by the scheduled sales of XRP assets after considering the rulings that were handed down by the court, as well as the arguments that were offered in the files on the remedies. It would appear that reaching a settlement is quite unlikely. The experts have confirmed what they have found. This is not likely to happen, according to Bill Morgan, a lawyer who fights for cryptocurrency. However, if it does happen, it will be a compromise rather than a huge triumph. Morgan made this statement in response to the rumors that a settlement was being discussed. It is an indication that both parties are willing to make concessions in some specific area. The following is what Mark Fagel, a former attorney for the